Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can change the brightness of a live camera preview in Expo React Native for Android using CameraX and Media 3 effect. So let's get started. So first I have recorded two videos, one in which I will show you the brightness as minus 0.5 and the second in which I will show you the brightness as plus 0.5. Okay, so here are the outputs. So I'll just play this video. Okay, here I have recorded the video. Here you can see we are giving the camera permission. Once we have given the camera permission, here you can see I have kept the brightness as minus 0.5. That's why there is a lot of obviously the brightness is less, and you can click on the capture button to capture the image and display it inside an image view. So here you can see now in the second demo I have changed the brightness to plus 0.5, and the same scene here you can see the brightness has increased too much. And here again I'll just click on the capture button. So it depends on you what you want the brightness. I think the values are from -1 to +1, and I'll show you where you exactly need to change it. So let's get started with the code. So here what the next step is, to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here, but if you want you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why, but anyways for our case this is fine. There I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application, so the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you like, do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device? So you don't have to run it, you can just press Ctrl+C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done, once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this. It should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to my module.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default, I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why, that's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. you need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera, as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written, so feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @ unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Okay, so the next thing is you just need to open this my module view.kt file, and firstly you will see some code inside this class of my module view. You just have to delete all that code, just keep this class of my module view. Okay, then there are a lot of imports which you need to write, so I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Once you have done that, here you can see we have this event handler, event dispatcher, sorry, which will help us to send data from native Android side to React Native or Expo side. Then here we are getting hold of our activity. This is the frame layout, this is our camera, this is the preview view, this is the image capture. Here we initialize our button, here we initialize the preview view as well. Then here is our camera executor service, here is our process camera provider. Here we get hold of our back facing lens. Then we set the layout params for our frame layout and add it to our parent view. Then the viewfinder is basically the camera preview view which you saw. Here we are setting layout params for that as well. I'll come back to this what exactly this does in a bit. Install hierarchy filter, then we add our viewfinder to our frame layout. Then we set the text background color, text color, as well as alpha to our capture button. Then we set the layout params for that as well and add the capture button to our frame layout. We add a click listener for our capture button as well. Then here we override on attached to window, and if we have the camera permission, then we just do viewfinder.post call setup camera. Then inside on detach from window, we just shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Then here we call this particular method. Now why we are calling this method, this I have copied it from this particular URL over here. So this is an issue which has been open in React Native's repo since past 8 years. They have still not fixed it. This is basically a hack which we need to write, otherwise your live camera preview will not get displayed and you will just see a black camera screen. That's why we need to write this particular hacky code as well. Then here we call setup camera, where we add a camera provider future listener as well. Then here we call bind camera use case, so here we get the camera rotation. Then here we get the camera provider as well. Here is our camera selector, here is the aspect ratio, here is our resolution selector, here is our camera preview view, here we initialize our image capture as well. Here is the use case group builder, where we had the preview use case as well as image capture use case. Here is our media 3 effect as well, and here we add the effect. So here I have set the brightness as 0.5, right? You can play around with this value. So the first output which I showed you, in that I have kept the brightness as minus 0.5. so it's up to you what you want to like keep this value as. Then we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle. Then we set the surface provider as well over here. Then here we call take photo, so here we just check whether image capture is not equal to null. Then here we define the name using simple date format. Then here we have this content values.apply by passing the display name mime type, and if Android version greater than p, we also set the relative path. Then here we have image capture.output file option by passing in the builder. Okay, then we do image capture.take picture. Here we override on image save, so we send the URI of the saved image back to React Native side with the help of this particular method. Then we unbind our camera provider. Here we just check whether we have the camera permission or not, and here I have defined two variables. One is called tag and another is called file name format. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.